Good afternoon. This is All India Radio and I am Valsa Williams with the Midday News. The headlines. India calls for restraint amid escalating tensions between United States and Iran in the wake of the killing of Iranian Commander Qasem Soleimani. A central multidisciplinary expert team of doctors reaches Kota, Rajasthan to take stock of children's death at JK Lon Hospital. CBI arrests a Himachal Pradesh government official and two others in 220 crore Rupee Scholarship Scam. New Delhi World Book Fair 2020 begins in New Delhi. World Braille Day is being celebrated today. All preparations in place in Guwahati for India and Sri Lanka T20 match tomorrow. India has called for restraint between the US and Iran. External Affairs Ministry said the increase in tensions between both nations has alarmed the world and it is vital that the situation does not escalate further. The ministry said that peace, stability and security in the region is of utmost importance. After Iran's Revolutionary Guards commander Qasem Soleimani was killed in Iraq by the US, resulting in the escalation of tension in the Gulf region, India said it should be vital that the situation does not escalate further. External Affairs Ministry said India has consistently advocated restraint and continues to do so. United States National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien has said that President Donald Trump's decision to kill Iran's powerful Revolutionary Guards commander, General Qasem Soleimani, was designed to prevent further bloodshed and was defensive in nature. He was briefing reporters on the U.S. operation in a conference call in Washington yesterday. Mr. O'Brien alleged that Soleimani, who was traveling around the Middle East, had just come to Iraq from Damascus. He was planning attacks on American soldiers and diplomats. Iran has pledged retaliation, which the Trump administration deemed a very poor decision. Soleimani was the head of Iran's elite Al-Quds force, an architect of its regional security apparatus. He was killed yesterday at the Baghdad International Airport. The strike also killed the deputy chief of Iraq's powerful Rashid al-Shabi paramilitary force and some local Iran-backed militias. U.S. is sending 3,000 more army troops to the Middle East as reinforcements after the killing of Iranian commander. They are in addition to about 700 soldiers who were deployed in Kuwait earlier this week after the storming of the U.S. Embassy compound in Baghdad by Iran-backed militiamen and their supporters. Prior to this week's deployments, Trump administration had sent 14,000 additional troops to the Middle East since May. The United States urged its citizens to leave Iraq immediately as fears mounted that the strike and any retaliation by Iran could ignite a conflict that engulfs the region. Gulf Air, the flagship carrier of Bahrain, and Jordan's flagship carrier, Royal Jordanian, have suspended their flights to and from Baghdad, citing security concerns. Royal Jordanian said in a statement yesterday that it halted all service between Amman and Baghdad in the light of the security situation in the Iraqi capital and at Baghdad International Airport, the target of the strike that killed General Qasem Soleimani. However, the airline said its regularly scheduled flights to Najaf and the Iraqi cities of Basra, Erbil and Suleimania are operating as usual. India has strongly condemned the vandalism at Nankana Sahib Gurudwara in Pakistan. It has called upon the Pakistan government to take immediate steps to ensure the safety, security and welfare of the members of the Sikh community. External Affairs Ministry said that New Delhi is concerned at the vandalism carried out at the Nankana Sahib Gurudwara yesterday. The ministry said members of the minority Sikh community have been subjected to acts of violence in the holy city of Nankana Sahib, the birthplace of Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji. It said strong action must be taken against the miscreants who indulged in desecration of the holy Gurudwara and attacked members of the minority Sikh community. India has also asked Pakistan to take all measures to protect and preserve the sanctity of the holy Nankana Sahib Gurudwara and its surroundings. Union Minister Hardeep Puri condemned the incident.
These are wanton acts of vandalism, stone pelting and desecration against the holiest of the holy Sikh shrines. Gurdwara Nankana Sahib Ji. And you know, those who have taken a stand on the Citizenship Amendment Act clearly either do not realize what they are saying, or this is deliberate, misleading, and I think treachery.
In Rajasthan, the multidisciplinary expert team, including top pediatricians, have reached Kota to take stock of the death of children at JK Lon Hospital. This team has been sent by the Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare for gap analysis and to take quick measures. The high-level team includes experts from AIIMS, Jodhpur, and Regional Director of Health Services, Jaipur. Director Public Health Dr. JK Sharma and other officials of the State Health Department also accompanying the central team. Deputy Chief Minister Sachin Pilot is also visiting the hospital today. More from our correspondent.
Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot has repeated many times that everything is fine in the hospital. But when Health Minister Raghu Sharma visited the hospital yesterday, many administrative lacunas were revealed. He admitted that a fund of 6 crore rupees was available in the hospital, in spite of which many equipment were not repaired. The Health Minister has assured that all arrangements will be in place by January 15. He also said that appropriate action will be taken against the officers and employees found guilty. Meanwhile, death of 10 children in the last month has been reported in Kota's neighbouring Bundi District Hospital. Jitendra Dwivedi, AIR News, Jaipur.
In Himachal Pradesh, the Central Bureau of Investigation yesterday arrested an official of the Himachal Pradesh government and two others in the 220 crore Rupee Scholarship Scam in the state. Those arrested include the then Superintendent Grade 2 in Department of Higher Education, along with the Vice Chairman of a private group of institutions and the then Head Cashier, Central Bank of India, in an ongoing investigation of a case related to an alleged scholarship scam. CBI had registered a case on the request of the Himachal Pradesh government and further notification from the Government of India on the 7th of May last year against unknown persons. It was alleged that serious irregularities took place in disbursal of pre-matric and post-matric scholarships of more than 220 crore rupees between 2013-14 and 2016-17 under state and central government-sponsored schemes for students belonging to SCs, STs and other backward classes. It was further alleged that the income and caste certificates of alleged students were not genuine. A Central Bureau of Investigation Special Court in Hyderabad has directed Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy to appear before it on the 10th of January. This was in connection with alleged quid pro quo investments in his firms. The court gave the direction yesterday while hearing a petition by him seeking exemption from personal appearance. Ever since Mr. Jagan became Chief Minister, he has not appeared for the hearings, citing his busy schedule as CM. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, visit our News on AIR app and follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. You can also visit our website www.newsonair.com. In the Kashmir Valley, police has arrested a terrorist belonging to Lashkar-e-Taiba, Nisar Ahmad Dar. According to police sources, Dar, a resident of Pare Mohalla Hajan in Bandipora district, has been active in North Kashmir and is involved in various subversive activities. According to sources, he had escaped from an encounter in Ganderbal district in October last year. In Karnataka, renowned scientist Professor C.N.R. Rao called upon youngsters to take pride in doing science. Addressing the gathering in the Children's Science Congress inaugural function in Bengaluru today, he said, "Empowering science will empower the country." Children's Science Congress is organized as part of National Science Congress that was inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi yesterday. Professor C.N.R. Rao said there are crores of children in villages and many have extraordinary minds who can be great scientists given an opportunity. New Delhi World Book Fair 2020 began at Pragati Maidan in the national capital today. The fair will be open to the public daily from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. The book fair will run till the 12th of January. Inaugurating the 9-day fair, Union Minister for Human Resource Development Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank said that literature is the people's greatest friend. He said the New Delhi World Book Fair is Asia's largest book fair in which more than 600 publishers are taking part. The minister added India has been the Vishwa Guru and the whole world has learnt from India. He said the world is facing the threat of terrorism and there is a need to follow Gandhiji's ideas of truth and non-violence.
पूरी दुनिया में एक और आतंकवाद की घटनाएं घट रही हों, दूसरे में आपसी सामंजस्य को हट करके लोग अपने व्यक्तिगत स्वार्थों की दूरी पर खड़े हो गए हों, ऐसे ही वक्त पर गांधी जी पूरी दुनिया को याद आते हैं.
As part of Mahatma Gandhi's 150th birth anniversary celebration, the theme of this fair is Gandhi, the writer's writer. Hundreds of visually impaired people gathered at a function in New Delhi today to observe the World Braille Day. The event was organized by the National Federation of the Blind. Talking to AIR, General Secretary of the Federation, SK Rumta, said Braille is the only script for communication for the visually impaired. It provides independence to the visually impaired persons at workplaces and in the field of education. All India Radio News and its regional units in Pune and Nagpur have observed World Braille Day in an innovative way by broadcasting news read by visually impaired students and officers. The news was scripted in Braille and read live. Hindi Samachar of 5 minutes duration was broadcast from Delhi at 11 a.m. and was read by visually impaired officer Kamal Prajapati. The news in Marathi went live from Pune at 7:10 a.m. and was presented by visually impaired students Gulab Kamble and Kavita Gawali. The students are from Pune Blind Men's Association. In Nagpur unit of AIR, Ms. Saloni Kapkate read FM news bulletin of 2 minutes and at 11:58 a.m. Today, she read the news fluently in Braille with the help of her tutor, Ms. Kanchan Najpande. The move was made to support the idea of empowering Divyangs and promoting their mainstream presence. Regional News Unit of All India Radio Ahmedabad organized special live Braille news reading by a visually impaired person. Shri Yahya Sapatwala, a visually impaired teacher, will read the 7:10 p.m. evening Regional News Bulletin of All India Radio Ahmedabad through Braille script. On the occasion, Principal Director General of All India Radio News, Ira Joshi, said that AIR is an inclusive medium and is the most easily accessible news medium to the Drishti, the Vyangs. She said that occasions like Braille Day give a chance to rededicate ourselves to an inclusive and accessible society. Ms. Joshi underscored that accessible programming is a reflection of Accessible India campaign launched by the Prime Minister in 2015. In Ladakh, the Leh Hill Council has made necessary arrangements to transport vegetables and essential commodities to Leh in the long winter months. The Ladakh region gets closed for road transport due to heavy snowfall at Zojila from Srinagar and at Rohtang from Manali on the national highway during the winters. During this season, Ladakh region depends on air supplies to meet the demands for vegetables and essential commodities. Here is more from our Leh correspondent.
The Hill Council has made arrangements with the Army to carry about 40 tons of cargo twice a week for civilian requirements beginning next week. The Ladakh Union Territory Administration has allocated nearly 10 crore rupees to meet the transportation charges of essential commodities. Transportation from Chandigarh is to cost only half in comparison with the private airliners. From every third consignment, non-perishable vegetables will be sent to bordering blocks like Durbuk and Kalsi in Leh. Ramesh Chandra, Leh.
Delhi recorded a minimum temperature of 8 degrees Celsius this morning and the weatherman forecast a sunny day. The maximum temperature is expected to be around 23 degrees Celsius. In Assam, all preparations have been put in place for the India-Sri Lanka T20 cricket match to be held at Barsapara Stadium in Guwahati tomorrow. Both the teams did practice sessions ahead of the match today. Sri Lanka comes into the match on the back of a 3-0 whitewash against Australia in their last series. India rounded off a successful 2019 with a limited over series win over the West Indies at home. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. India calls for restraint amid escalating tensions between United States and Iran in the wake of the killing of Iranian Commander Qasem Soleimani. A central multidisciplinary expert team of doctors reaches Kota, Rajasthan to take stock of children's death at JK Lon Hospital. CBI arrests the Himachal Pradesh government official and 2 others in 220 crore Rupee Scholarship Scam. New Delhi World Book Fair 2020 begins in New Delhi. World Braille Day is being celebrated today. And all preparations in place in Guwahati for India-Sri Lanka T20 match tomorrow. And with that we end the midday news.